Thank you. All right. Hey people, if you really want to make your 8th grade icon stop fun, then keep doing it. All right. As far as what we were talking about today, first of all, yes, it has been a while since I have talked to you. So some things that we need to cover. Those things are grades. Those things are hours. Those things are induction, which is coming up quite soon. So for grades, honestly guys, people have done really, really well in terms of grades last quarter. I think there were only maybe 3 or 4 people who had some issues with grades, and Ms. Sasuke will be reaching out to those people to talk to them. But everyone did relatively well with grades, like probably better than we've had people do in the past. So well done. You've proven yourself as far as grades, yes. Ooh, you guys are good at that. All right. If you don't hear from us about grades, then just assume you are good, because if not, we would hunt you down and it would be bad. You gotta maintain those grades. Okay, so it is now 4th quarter, which does essentially start over. So most of you set yourself up pretty well to succeed in 4th quarter because of where you're at in 3rd quarter. Just keep it there. Because right before the induction ceremony, we will look at grades once again and make sure everyone is where they should be. And if you're not, we'll have a conversation, but everyone should relatively be okay. Hours. Remember, 25. You need 25 before the end of the year. What that means, the induction ceremony is on the 19th of May. That is the day before the last day of school. Yeah, Neela, you look like you wanted to kill me. Okay, don't kill me yet. So that means the last time for you to turn in service hours is the 16th of May. That is the Monday before induction. That is the last week of school. That is your last chance to turn in service hours. Folks, do not put me in a spot where I have to say no to you for induction because you don't have your hours done. I have done that in the past. It is my least favorite part of this whole experience. So you only need 25 hours. Make sure those 25 hours are complete, because if they're not, you aren't invited to induction. And that is the whole point of doing this, is so that you are able to be inducted. So make sure that is the case. Be aware that 7th graders also need hours, because we just ran Super Happy Fun Night with them. They're now all up in njhs. They've done everything. So they are now also gaining hours. So if you are clicking on things and you're wondering why they fill up so quickly, it's because as soon as I sent out the invite for SCE Beach Bash, oh my gosh, I had 7th graders breaking down my door to sign up for that. So if you're wondering why people are volunteering quickly for things, it's because they're eager, and you guys are seasoned. You've done this for a while. You're not as eager. It's just true. If you have questions about hours, the only question I want you to email me about is if you have enough. Now, if you're wondering if, oh, do I have 350 hours or am I only at 250? Please don't email me. Because if that's the case, then I'm gonna get an email from every single person who is sitting on these bleachers. Guys, that's a lot of emails. My fingers only move so fast to type. So if you have a question about if you have enough hours, then I wanna hear from you. I don't wanna hear from you if you're wondering if you have 350 or 975 hours, whatever it may be. If you know you're above 25, you're good, and keep it that way. Although you can't get negative hours, so you should be good. Let's see, what else? Induction. So, the induction ceremony. The induction ceremony is basically like a graduation. Considering you really don't have an 8th grade graduation, that's what this is. So during induction, you will be recognized as members of NJHS, and if Dr. Thorpe is able to be there, she will be the one who officially inducts you into National Junior Honor Society. Because at this point, yeah, you're members, but you aren't full members until you complete everything. Until you prove yourself with grades, until you complete hours, until you can show that you're not a total turd in 8th grade, which some of you are doing better at than others, but I'm not naming names. So, on that night, on May 19th at 6 p.m., you will be here. Induction will take place in the main gym. There will be chairs set up. It will look very much like a graduation ceremony. The faculty council, including myself, Mr. Brovicast, Ms. Sasuke, Mr. Sturgeon, and probably a few other people, will be kind of sitting up front. So let's say the stage is up here, There'll be chairs on either side, there'll be a row down the middle, and you will be inducted. So that means that you will get a certificate, you'll walk up just like a graduation, do the whole handshake thing, or knuckles if you're still afraid because COVID. You will get all of those things and then you will sit down. There are alternate awards, so there are awards for all 5 pillars. Those people will get additional awards based on their performance during the school year. There's also an award for the top academic performer. So who has done the best, who is at the top of the list for NJHS in terms of grades. There's also an award for the most hours completed. So that person will also get an award. There are also awards for things like character, citizenship, things like that. So we will recognize additional people. In terms of who has more responsibility than others, raise your hand if you're an officer. Yes, yes, we talked before. Please remember, if you're an officer, if you are an officer, you have a little bit more responsibility than the average person. Don't sneeze during my talk.
Yeah, Mr. President. No, bless you?
No, because I'm tight. All right, so if you are an officer, you will have an additional responsibility because that is the night we are also responsible for literally passing the torch to the 7th graders. Like literally, there's a torch. Except there's not a torch, there's a candle. Yeah, don't burn the place down.
Burn it down.
Because the candle that you hold is actually the big candle.
Burn the place down.
Yeah, no, don't burn the place down. If you do, I'm blaming you on the insurance, not me. So,
He's a child.
yeah, I know, it's scary. So, during that whole evening, it will take probably about an hour. Certain people will give some speeches, a lot of the faculty council will speak, some of the officers will also speak. But all the officers will have a speaking role anyway. So for officers that are freaking out, first of all, don't, and second of all, you'll have a script. So you don't have to memorize anything. Unless you want to, in which case, you can go for it. Maynard, memorize something, I'm looking at you. Okay, nothing, it's okay. Just relax. So, whenever you show up to that, you're going to wear kind of business casual attire. So, gentlemen, if you want to wear a jacket or a tie of some sort. Ladies, if you want to go the skirt or dress route, you can do that. Slacks, I don't care. As long as you are not showing up here in a hoodie and jeans or leggings. Okay? Or shorts. Let's not show up in shorts. Waleed, good job. So, you are dressing nicely because this is a nicer event. Again, similar to a graduation. So if you've ever been to a graduation, that's pretty much what it's going to look like, except no one's going to say the word graduation. Everyone's going to say the word induction instead. Let's see. That is something that is reserved for only people that hit requirements. So like I've said before, if there's a requirement that you have not hit by that time, if you only have 20 hours, you won't be inducted. If you don't have an A- average, you won't be inducted. That is why you need to maintain those grades. We will look at those grades at the time of induction, and if there's something missing or there's something going on there, we're gonna have a conversation. It has happened before, and I'm gonna tell you it isn't pleasant. So, stay where you're at right now, unless you don't have enough hours, in which case get more. But you guys are, as far as a group, you are all doing really, really well as a chapter. You just gotta stick with it, because I don't wanna tell anyone no. Other thing, after school ends and you are no longer in 8th grade, there is one more benefit to being in NJHS, and it's something that we haven't been able to do in several years. We do take a Kings Island trip. So, I know, surprises, surprises. So on the Tuesday, after your last day of school is on the 20th. On Tuesday the 24th, if you are interested, it is not required by any means. If you are interested, there is a Kings Island trip where we will all get on nice buses, as in not school buses, as in like buses that actually have like cloth seats. Mr. Robiak. Oh, there's still school buses. That's news to me. Okay, we'll get on buses that are not HSE school buses, but they're other schools. There we go. See?
Let's go.
Yeah, I know. So, if you want to ride on a bus that doesn't say Hamilton Southeastern Schools, boy, we got a surprise for you. Either way, we will take those buses to Kings Island, where do you have absolutely free reign Yes, with an asterisk. Yes, there's some free reign, but if you go and break the law, we will leave you there. So yes, you can ride rides. Yes, you can see Mr. Brovicast wear whatever weird getup he's going to wear that day. You can fulfill your life dream of riding Diamondback with Mr. Brovicast. I don't know if that's a lifelong dream of yours, but maybe it is now.
So I'd love to.
Because Mr. Henderson doesn't really do roller coasters, but I'll go and support you guys. I'll hold the bags. Yeah, no, I don't do roller coasters. No, it takes some severe peer pressure, and none of you are my peers, so it's all good. Guys, that is all I have in terms of information that you need to know for the next few weeks. Now, what I want to know is, what don't you know that you need to know? What questions do you have that need answered? Mr. Brovicast.
With the Kings Island trip, I will have that figured out after we leave for Camp Tecumseh, so it'll be towards the end of April. We'll send out information for you. I believe it's going to cost around $70, but that includes the bus and your ticket to get in and a wristband that gets you drinks throughout the day. So that covers all of that. You have to bring money for food at some point, but everything else should be covered for the entire day. And our goal is we are usually there from when they open, which is like at 9:30 or 10, and we stay until about 6:30, 7, and we come back at that point because that's as long as the bus drivers are allowed to stay out. Because we have like a certain time limit that we get to have the drivers, and then they have to come back. So it gives you an idea, and we'll send it out there. And it'll be, I think we're doing 3 buses, but that includes orchestra is going the same day as us. If you are band or choir, that is going to be a different trip. Orchestra is the same day as us, and so we are going to have 3 buses. The 7th grade honor society is also going. It is, once our spots are filled, the spots are filled. So we only have a limited number of spots on those buses. So when it goes out there, 8th graders, you get the first shot at it. But after that first day, it opens up to 7th graders. And once those spots get filled, we have no other spots. And so we'll send that out to you.
Unless you want to like drive up separately and then join us there, but that seems kind of like a lot of work. So, if that is an opportunity that you want to seize upon, do it. Ms. Oskay.
Speaking of induction, there is limited seating. We would like to have everyone bring their whole entire household, but sometimes that's just not optional. So mom, dad, maybe grandpa, grandma, but you can't bring 8 or 9 people with you. We will run out of seating. So be cognizant of who you choose to bring. Most likely your parent, up to 4 per family, but not more than that.
Do not bring Cousin Fungus that you've met 3 times. Because Cousin Fungus doesn't need a seat. Unless you feel that Cousin Fungus does, because maybe he's been an influence in your life. Any questions that you have about anything that we talked about? Grades, induction, yes. What is my email? jkhenderson@hse.k12.in.us. Biggest thing on there is JK Henderson, because I'm just kidding. Anything else? Yes, hilarious. Anything else that you need to know? Because this, guys, is probably one of the last times we'll be able to meet as a whole chapter before that time, because there are a grand total of like 0 bests left. So, anything anyone needs clarification on in terms of anything, because you have time.
Make sure that you're checking your Remind. I will be sending out a couple emails or messages through our Remind, so check those.
Anything? Anything? Bye at home, people.